What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we have a brand new update on the Romeo Lavia transfer situation because multiple journalists are reporting that Liverpool are about to table their third and potentially final bid for Romeo Lavia, which would go up to 45 to 47 million pounds, including bonuses and add-ons. Plus we have the Southampton CEO or chief executive speaking out on the Romeo Lavia transfer situation and Southampton's transfer strategy. And also we have a major update on Andre's situation, that Liverpool signaled their interest to Fluminense, and Andre could be the long-term replacement of Thiago. The Brazilian defensive midfielder is of Liverpool's interest. And surely Liverpool will sign more players after losing 7 first-team players this summer and only bringing in 2. So far our transfer business has been good with signing McAllister and Szoboszlai, and if we back that up and follow that up with signing 2 more defensive midfielders plus a left-sided centre-back, remember there is still more than 25 days left of the transfer window, and Liverpool can say that it has been a very successful transfer window. But of course it's less than ideal that Liverpool have left it so late, that the Chelsea game is less than 1 week or 1 week from now, and Liverpool not having a proper defensive midfielder in their team is definitely concerning. And Francois Plateau, who is a journalist reporting on Liverpool transfer news, he's saying that Liverpool are doing a lot of work in the background, behind the scenes, and not many journalists know exactly Liverpool's transfer targets. And he's also reporting on a potential centre-back signing for Liverpool. But first, let's talk about the Southampton chief executive Phil Parsons, who actually explained why Southampton have no intention to let their players leave on the cheap. He said, "We are looking at all options, but let's be realistic. Southampton have a 30 plus player squad, and we don't need 30 plus players. We are actually in a position to make sure the finances balance out quite well, and you get hit substantially being relegated." He continued saying, "We can trim the squad, we can sell assets if we want to. We won't be selling assets on the cheap though, assets on the cheap. And that's why we stood firm on a few." That's why they sold Tino Livramento for the asking price of 40 million, even though Newcastle negotiated for a month trying to get a lower price, but Southampton stood firm, and I think that's what they are doing with Romeo Lavia. They know what kind of talented player they have, and they want to sell him for the best and highest possible price, and that's why these negotiations have taken so long. And by the way, if you enjoy these transfer news updates, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. Half of you guys watching this aren't subscribed to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel to 140,000 subscribers, so help me out and subscribe. And the Southampton chief executive continued, "We will develop a lot of players over the coming years, and there will be players who gone on to join top 4 clubs in the Premier League, but we won't be doing it at a cheap rate. We will be doing it at the going rate. If clubs want to place offers with us, we will look at them. We will look at those offers, but we won't be saying just yes to any offer through the door. Southampton is a great club, and if you do well for the Southampton and deserve a move, maybe we will look at it. But let's focus on Southampton first and doing well, and then we will talk about other clubs second." So they only want to sell Lavia for pretty close to their asking price, and I think if Liverpool can install enough add-ons and bonuses, so the final figure is a lot closer to 50 million than before, then I think Southampton will do business. It's no coincidence that Southampton left out Romeo Lavia out of their squad out of their team. They included him on the bench, so didn't leave him out of the squad, but he didn't come on as a substitute. Your best player literally is Romeo Lavia, and him not playing means that a transfer deal is pretty close, and Southampton didn't want to jeopardize that deal by Lavia potentially coming on and getting injured. And multiple journalists are also saying that Liverpool are reluctant to pay the asking price of 50 million for Lavia. They think that Lavia is not worth that amount, but the problem is that these defensive midfielders who are tall, robust, energetic and really dynamic, it's a rare breed, and nowadays if you are a top 6 club and if you want to play this high line, high pressing football, you absolutely have to have monsters in your team in the midfield who can run all day up and down, and that was the major problem for Liverpool. Too many of our midfielders like Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, they lost a yard of pace, they lost their dynamism, they lost a bit of athletic physicality, dynamism, and Liverpool suffered the consequences last season. So Liverpool desperately need midfielders like that who are not injury prone and who can run all day. McAllister and Szoboszlai are two of those kind of midfielders, and if we could add Lavia, that would really improve Liverpool. But that's why these defensive midfielders now cost a premium. Remember, Declan Rice cost 100 million for Arsenal. Moises Caicedo, Brighton want 100 million for him as well, because they saw the Declan Rice transfer and they are saying if Declan Rice costs 100 million and Moises Caicedo costs 100 million. So Liverpool trying to get Lavia for less than 50 million. Maybe it's not too realistic in today's transfer market, because if you are a Premier League club, you have to pay the premium because you are in the richest club, the richest league in the world, and Liverpool are one of the richest clubs in the world. So I think Liverpool have the money to pay the asking price of Southampton, because there are not many quality alternatives really. And Enzo Fernandez cost 105 million pounds for Chelsea. Rodri is another example at Man City who cost a lot of money. Kovacic also went from Chelsea to Man City, and he's a similar type of really brilliant holding midfielder who can play box-to-box midfielder as well. And Romeo Lavia averaged 5.8 passes to the final third among the midfielders in the Premier League. He also ball recoveries in the opponent's half. He was ranked 24th among the midfielders with 4 ball recoveries. Rodri was first. Also, another alternative could be Tyler Adams, who got relegated with Leeds United, and at the moment Tyler Adams is still a Leeds United player, I think, so he could be an alternative, but he's a little bit of a lesser quality than Lavia, but more experienced. He played 24 times for Leeds in the Premier League, and before that he played 4 seasons at Leipzig, but he has been out injured for a long time. Tyler Adams, the last time he played actually was in the beginning of March, so maybe that's why Liverpool haven't approached Leeds United with an offer. And also Lavia ranks 15th among the Premier League's midfielders when it comes to successful defensive actions, with 9.8 successful defensive actions, which is really good. Interceptions, Lavia ranks 18th with 4.7 interceptions per 90 minutes, and that's really impressive for just a 19-year-old player. Also for ball losses, he ranks 9th with 6.8 ball losses, which is really nice. I mean, the best is Yves Bissouma with 5. So of course, the higher you rank on this list, the less balls you lose. Among Liverpool players, only Fabinho ranked higher than Lavia in this metric. Also, ball recoveries in the opponent's half, he ranks 24th among the Premier League midfielders with 4 ball recoveries in the opposition's half. Interceptions, he ranks 18th with 4.7 interceptions. So Lavia ranks really well when it comes to Premier League midfielders. So I really hope that Liverpool can get this deal done, hopefully next week before the Chelsea game, so at least Lavia can sit on the bench against Chelsea. But if he can learn the Liverpool playing style in the coming weeks, then he would be a brilliant asset for Liverpool. Of course, it's a boost that Bajcetic and Thiago started training, but I'm not sure if either of them will be ready for the Chelsea game. And I also want to give you guys an update on Andre, because Liverpool told Fluminense that they are heavily interested in Andre, but Fluminense said that they have an agreement with Andre that he's staying at Fluminense until the end of their season, which is December. But if Liverpool pay the £40 million release clause for Andre, then they can, of course, Fluminense won't stand in their way. And Sporting Club de Portugal also signaled their interest for Andre. Pedro Sepulveda, a journalist, is reporting that Andre will not be a reinforcement of Sporting. Fluminense wants more than 20 million euros for Andre, and they want to keep him until the end of the season, which is January 2024. Interest from Liverpool is real, but no proposal has been made. Liverpool first want to get the Lavia transfer deal done, and then we will look at other midfielders, and potentially we are going to sign a centre-back as well, which I think is badly needed. Liverpool need at least 3 more signings until the end of the transfer window. Of course, it would have been better if Liverpool completed their business before the preseason, or before the Chelsea game, but Jurgen Klopp said that with some transfers Liverpool will have to be patient, and some transfers will drag on a little bit, because it's not easy to get these players nowadays, especially if you are run on a shoestring budget. François Plateau, a journalist, is also reporting that Liverpool are keeping a close eye on the situation regarding Castello Lukeba, a 19-year-old centre-back who is playing for Lyon, because Leipzig are negotiating with Lyon for a potential transfer fee, but those transfer negotiations have come to a temporary halt. So now Liverpool have been in contact with Lukeba's representatives. Jean-Michel Aulas promised Lukeba an exit from Lyon this summer, so it's increasingly likely that Lukeba will leave Lyon, and now it's up to Liverpool if they would like to act on the situation. If not, the player looks set to make a transfer to Leipzig, and the player was informed of Liverpool's interest. A bid of around 40 million euros is sufficient, so it's enough. So for 34 million pounds we could get Lukeba, who is a really promising young player. I think he's a really muscular, really fast centre-back. Looking at his attributes, he's 184 centimeters tall. He is from Lyon, so he was born there. He's 20 years old, and he already completed 2 seasons with Lyon in the French First League after coming through the youth academy. So he's of course not an experienced centre-back, but he's very talented. And Liverpool need to sign some players because it was revealed on Transfermarkt that Liverpool have the smallest squad in the Premier League. Out of all the teams in the Premier League, Liverpool have the least amount of players, 22 players. For example, Man United have a squad of 36 players, Arsenal 34, Chelsea 34, Tottenham 33, even Newcastle have 30 players, Man City have 26. And I mean, Liverpool's centre-back options are not great. After Konate, Van Dijk, Trent and Robertson, we don't really have another world-class centre-back option. Look at Man City, they have a world-class 7 defenders, and they are signing the 8th defender, Joško Gvardiol, for 78 million pounds. That just shows what an incredible squad Man City have built, and of course they are sponsored by a whole country, so it's difficult for Liverpool to keep up. But there is no excuse for Liverpool to have a net spend lower than Man United in 2 seasons, have a higher net spend than Jurgen Klopp in 8 years at Liverpool. Ten Hag in 2 years at Man United have spent more money net than Jurgen Klopp spent in 8 years at Liverpool. That shows what Liverpool are competing with, and the FSG just cannot compete with the likes of Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. I mean, even Tottenham have double the net spend of Liverpool in the past 5 years or 6 years. Man City have of course a lot higher net spend, but interestingly Man United and Arsenal and Chelsea have the top 3 highest net spend when it comes to the last 5 years, and that's just not good enough. Liverpool need to start spending more money, otherwise we will not be able to compete for the title. Another theory of why Liverpool are taking so long in doing these transfers is that Liverpool want absolute pure value for money, and we don't just want to sign mediocre players for the sake of signing. Tyler Adams, probably not good enough for Liverpool. Sangare, probably not good enough for Liverpool. They want a higher level player, and that's why it's very difficult to find these kind of players. Edson Alvarez, who West Ham are signing, probably Liverpool don't consider him good enough for our squad, and we want to find that gem of a player like Romeo Lavia, who we could get for less than 50 million pounds hopefully, and who is a huge talent and who could become world class, because Liverpool just cannot afford to make a mediocre transfer. Every single transfer of us have to be A or A plus. Look at Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. For a combined 95 million, they are absolutely top class signings, and they will become hopefully world class at Liverpool. Some journalists are even saying that Liverpool could potentially have Nat Phillips and Jarrah Quansah as new centre-back options for the new season, and that just shows that unless Liverpool find a hidden gem for a decent amount of money, like I think Lukaba would be a good option for 30-35 million pounds, but maybe FSG want even less, want to sign a centre-back for even less money. I think what FSG is doing is they are giving a very strict budget for the Liverpool scouting department to work with, and then we have to try and build a squad using that budget alone. And of course, selling Fabinho and Henderson added to that budget, but still, if Liverpool sign another midfielder and maybe another defensive midfielder, two defensive midfielders, maybe our budget will be close to zero and we won't have money for a centre-back. And if that's the case, that's disgraceful, because Liverpool have one of the highest revenues in the world, and if we want to compete and if we want to give Jurgen Klopp a squad good enough to challenge for the title, then we absolutely have to spend more money, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think this squad is good enough to challenge for the title? As it stands, definitely not. But if we sign two defensive midfielders plus a centre back, that could be all the difference. That could make all the difference. And that's why I'm so hopeful that Liverpool will get these deals done. And I'm still optimistic. There is still more than 3 weeks left of the transfer window. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Good night.